as if I wasn't upset enough after sitting in my car for another 7 hours, driving back and forth to New York City to consult with more doctors about fixing my eyes. When I went to grab this camera, there was dust on it because I haven't used it since before my eye surgery, since I was doing YouTube regularly. And I mean, this has consumed my entire life. I've been so upset about my appearance, and although it's not that bad, you know, I obviously look worse than before, and I was misled by the surgeon, and because of how things have been going and how I've been treated, I've ultimately decided to make this video. You know, I was trying to be a gentleman, trying to respect him being the best and most popular eye surgeon, but from the way he's treated me, from how this whole situation has gone, it's beyond disgusting. It's far beyond that at this point. And another reason is the medical malpractice limit is 1 year, the statutes. So after 1 year in the state of California, you can no longer sue for medical malpractice, and we're coming up on that point. Haven't had much success talking to these lawyers that are defending their doctor buddy, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna have some relief. It looks like I'm gonna have to write this lawsuit myself, and maybe we can do a class action. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find 20 or 30 people through this video that have been butchered by this guy. I'm sure he's butchered more than that. It's just, you know, my reach, you know, I don't have access to his patient list. He did have 4 lawsuits against him in the Los Angeles County Court. But we'll talk more about that stuff later. To make a long story short, I was misled and lied to by Dr. Mayor TABAN, MD, most popular oculoplastic surgeon, very famous, coerced me into...
I don't know why you're asking me why his eyes are pushed together when the title literally says botched by Dr. TABAN surgery nightmare. Take a guess.
Getting a highly risky and questionable surgery that has left me partially blind, and the definition of blind is interpretable, severe visual impairment, and still current disfigurement. We've had 2 revision strabismus surgeries, which have improved the vision slightly, but have not been successful. That's the big thing. Like, instead of helping me and recognizing what he did to me and getting the best surgeon on speed dial and paying to have my eyes fixed, I'm like left to fend for myself. I've been consulting surgeons. I've been trying to get the right person to fix this. And I like have my thumb on my ass waiting for my health insurance to renew in October to consult more surgeons. The situation I'm in is currently, like, it's so disgusting. He basically messed up my face and left me to fend for myself. It's completely ridiculous. You would think after this guy has butchered how many dozens and dozens of people that he would have a relationship with a surgeon that can correct this. Instead, he just ignores the person and doesn't want to help them. You know, I've been so upset, guys. I don't want to even like do anything, let alone be on camera and do this. And it's becoming increasingly difficult to run my business and maintain everything until I can hopefully get this resolved and be in a happier position. You know, I'm still hoping for the best. At minimum, I'm gonna have to find another strabismus surgeon. Still at square one. Still looking for another strabismus surgeon to fix the eye alignment because it's clearly not correct. And then we might get another maybe we don't have to fix it cosmetically, but it would be at least that strabismus procedure and then at least one more cosmetic procedure to fix everything that we'll talk about. So there were 3 main things I was lied to about. One being the risk percentage of the procedure, one being the possible negative outcomes, and another being the change in eye and pupillary.
So Frank is stupid. You never want to rely on a doctor, especially a cosmetic surgeon, when you ask about risk of the procedure. So for one thing, plastic surgery in the US is surprisingly unregulated. You don't actually have to be a surgeon to perform plastic surgery. You just need a medical license. So you need to be a medical doctor. That's it. So a medical doctor who has no training in surgery can do a surgery on you. And again, this is obviously through a private practice as well. So this person wants to make as much money as possible. They're going to be biased towards, saying the risks of the procedure are low. They're going to be biased into saying, into not admitting what the possible risks of the procedure are. And again, because plastic surgery is highly unregulated, this could be a person who's never performed any of these procedures before, has no surgical training, so they might not even know of the risks. So what you want to do is research this yourself, see if there's any peer-reviewed published research on that particular operation, and look up what the potential risks are and what the percentage of people, who have had like a botched operation or complications. So Frank's an idiot. I think anybody with half a fucking brain would see a procedure like this where you're literally altering the bones around your eyes and like cutting away soft tissue around your eyes as highly risky and probably experimental. And again, most people with half a brain would choose not to fucking do that.
Very distance. What really upset me was that after the surgery, when I was clearly cross-eyed and disfigured and looked horrible, Dr. TABAN attempted to gaslight me and lied to me that my eyes were fine and my vision was good. It was completely ridiculous. We were on a FaceTime call and he was trying to gaslight me that I didn't have double vision when I could barely drive. It was completely ridiculous. He offered no solutions, no possible corrective surgery.
You saw his latest vid?
We're watching Frank's latest vid right now. Thanks for the donation, Sam Smith. Frank signed a waiver. He isn't going to get a dime. Liability waivers do not really protect you from anything. They're more useful for preventing people from actually suing you than actually having any kind of legal protection from being sued. Just because you sign a liability waiver, it doesn't mean you can completely fuck somebody up and then you can't get sued. So if he did something in the during the procedure that would be considered wrong or malpractice or improper, or if he didn't instruct the patient properly on potential risks, a liability waiver won't do shit for you. Bringo donated $2.
And in regards to his general behavior and demeanor, he always seemed kind of shifty and a bit off. Like, as soon as he got into a room with you, he was ready to scurry out. And I should have taken that as a red flag to not get the surgery. He said the risk of double vision was 1 or 2%. And that depended on the stages of decompression. But the medical literature cites 10%.
Dusty donated.
I love how Frank said he was coerced into getting cosmetic surgery, when he literally made the choice to get cosmetic on his eyes. I even left that comment on the video.
Well, Frank's a narcissist, so anytime he makes a stupid decision, he'll do anything he can to blame other people. Thanks for the donation, though, Johnny Bravo. Like, it's funny. Why didn't he do this research before he got the surgery? The doctor told him, oh, there's only a 1 to 2% chance, but then he researched it, and there's more like a 20% chance. Why wouldn't he have done that research before the operation?
Or 17% risk. 1 in 5. He also failed to mention that the double vision, this is the important one, he failed to mention that the double vision comes with being completely fucking cross-eyed and disfigured to the point that any aesthetic benefit of the surgery would be negated. If he was honest and told me there's a 1 in 5, a 20% chance you're gonna be a cross-eyed fucking freak show, I wouldn't be here making this video because I wouldn't have gotten the surgery. And if he wasn't so good at hiding his past botched jobs and disfigurements, I also wouldn't be here making this video. It's completely ridiculous. If you dig deep enough, there's plenty of people that have had the same...
By the way, the surgery cost $30,000. Why wouldn't he have done research beforehand? This guy literally just called with this doctor, not really knowing who the fuck he is, not doing any research, with what is clearly a very risky operation. He's getting like tissue and bone removed from his eyes, and he didn't do any research. Like this guy is just fucking tarded. Do you like bean salad? I've been enjoying dates, cucumber.
Same exact issue from this surgery, and this is 5, 6, 7 years ago. This guy's been messing.
The animals get their revenge. Musical notes, dancer, steam locomotive, smiley face, cool face.
Yeah, they have gotten a little bit of revenge. It's kind of nice. Thanks for the donation, Sam. Ask ChatGPT's ethnicity guesser to guess
people up for a very long time. And the day before the surgery, when I was in his office, he says, "Do you have any concerns?" I specifically asked him, "Will my eyes be closer together after the procedure?" Because I knew that was a big deal from an aesthetic perspective. He said no. But there's literal scientific literature on the procedure he did, medial decompression.
Again, why wouldn't he do any of this research beforehand?
Reducing pupillary distance. So he directly lied to me, and I would imagine he has to have seen that study. Being in this field, it's specific to his surgery. The medical study says when you perform this procedure, the patient's eyes will be closer together. That's the gist. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of technical medical literature that most people would not be able to understand, but that surgery states performing this procedure you did on Frank Tufano will make his eyes closer together, which he said it wouldn't. You would assume that any doctor in this field that performs that orbital decompression procedure would know that, let alone the best one, the most famous and renowned surgeon. You would assume they would know and address this. And what was really might have been what caused this in the first place, he upcharged me on the procedure the day before the surgery, saying I needed a double wall compression instead of a single wall compression. So the bill went from $30,000 to $38,000. And I asked him, I said, "Do you think I need it?" I trusted his expertise. I trusted him. I said, "Okay, I'll pay you for the..."
I guess Frank has eaten too many animals.
Far too many, and he deserves far worse. Thanks for the donation, Sam.
The double decompression, which is likely the specific part of the procedure that has caused all of these complications and the negative appearance. Also very important to note, and this is why I was shocked that I couldn't find, none of these California lawyers took the case yet. This specific procedure of orbital decompression is not performed by any other surgeon in a cosmetic application because it is deemed as too risky by any sane doctor. If you look at a list of you could Google oculoplastic surgeon. You can look at a list of the procedures they perform and have on their website. You could look at every single oculoplastic surgeon that exists. He's the only guy doing this crazy surgery. He's the only one.
So again, why wouldn't Frank have researched that and then noticed that as a red flag? If there's only one doctor doing the surgery, that's an indication that the surgery is either experimental, which makes it very high risk, or it's known to be extremely dangerous and no doctors want to do it.
And I should have recognized that before as a red flag not to do this and to see other doctors and get some sane opinions, because every doctor I've seen since, probably about half a dozen.
So, Greg B in chat.
Compared to how he was behaving, you know, these are actual reasonable surgeons that are ethical and are actually like not just going to do some crazy procedure on you that has these risks. You know, I guess that you could say this is a high risk, high reward, and I would bet there's more people that have been disfigured by this guy than, you know, the good pictures on his website, because he has less than a dozen before and after photos that he publicizes and shows other people. And this guy's been doing these procedures for how many years, and he only has that many excellent. It's completely ridiculous. Outside of the visual impairment and cross eyes, like my vision, I think I said it already, my vision is permanently blurry and I still have some double vision. Every aspect of this procedure was done asymmetrically. My right upper eyelid is noticeably higher than my left. The left...
All right, who the hell are you?
Inner eyelid is higher. The left inner eyelid is also further in this way. The implants were placed unevenly. Every single part of my eyes this guy touched was done asymmetrically. Literally, not one of the procedures he performed.
Like, by the way, when Frank says this, like, very, very slight adjustments, like, you know, a fraction of a millimeter can make a very obvious asymmetry. Like, if this guy's cutting around your eyes and removing tissue and shit, there's no way a human being could have enough accuracy and precision around your eye when removing tissue to not have an obvious asymmetry. This is just something a rational, you know, fully functioning brained human would understand before getting this procedure.
Specifically, what kind of implants did Frank get?
There's some kind of silicone implant underneath his eye. It's like in the eye sac area, the lower eyelid. Thanks for the donation, Sam.
And he did 4 or 5 of them from a medical perspective. He did not perform one of them 100% perfectly. And I made a joke the day before the surgery to the doctor saying he should only have 1 bottle of wine that night. His lack of sense of humor makes me think he's not 100%. But it took him a second to get that joke. But I'm starting to think he might have drank a whole cellar of wine before he operated on me. And to go into more detail about the physical damage that was caused by this procedure, still cross-eyed appearance, permanent blurry vision with double vision at...
This is literally Frank Tufano, ha, get fucked. Dumbass. Yeah, that does look a lot like Frank Tufano. That's about what he looks like. Thanks for the donation, G.
At a distance. And I have frequent pain behind my eyes, similar to a headache. I get nerve pain near the cheek implant. I can't close my eyes to sleep anymore. I have to put...
I never debated Jack Angstritch on veganism.
My eyes. I mean, not informed of any of this. The only thing that was signed was like a general waiver saying you might have complications, but that's no excuse for the doctor to mess up these procedures this significantly. Now, from a compensation and remediation perspective, I was hoping these doctors were going to be able to fix my eyes, but the way it's going so far and how much I've been through, I mean, it would have to be an exorbitant amount of money for me not to want my old eyes back. Like if you said, hey Frank, I'll write you a check for $20 million right now, but you have to keep your current eyes, I would say no. It's the negative impact that this has on my life, my YouTube, my businesses. I mean, I could make $1 billion in the you know, there's no amount of money that can undo this. There isn't. And after I've had conversations with these lawyers and these law firms, and I probably have at least 10 active legal cases right now that I've written myself. You know, I don't want to say any key words to get this video even more shadow banned, but I don't want to.
He's talking about the Jews again. He's an anti-Semite and he blames the Jews on everything.
Name them specifically, but the elite that could.
Yeah, when he says elite, he means Jews. If he were to say Illuminati or something like that, it wouldn't get banned because that's just crazy conspiracy theorist bullshit. If he said the Jews are responsible for all of this, that's something that could get him banned from YouTube because it's anti-Semitism. So he's talking about the Jews. Massive anti-Semite.
Control the court system have been denying all the cases I've personally filed for less significant issues. And when I have this issue, which is clear as day, medical malpractice, and I can't get a lawyer to represent me, sure, I can go write the case myself in probably 2 hours and have something I can file that's usable in the court. But the judge is going to make up some reason to dismiss the case, maybe even ask me to get a medical expert, and I'm not going to get any of these elite-owned doctors to speak on my behalf. I'm not in the club, and these people are going to protect this doctor as much as they can. But you know, there's only so many people you can mess up and so many lives you can ruin until the karma catches up to you. And maybe I'm the guy that had to do this to him, unfortunately. I tried my best. I wish I...
No, Frank hasn't mentioned that he's straight yet. He might be too frustrated to remember that he has to convince everybody that he's not gay.
I thought the statute on malpractice was 2 years, but I was looking in the state of Pennsylvania, and I thought I could file this case federally, but I'm still not 100% sure on that yet. So, yeah, I'll speak more about the legal stuff. So I wrote on my script here, statute of limitations is only 1 year in California. If I had gotten representation, I probably wouldn't have made this video. But I basically called every high revenue malpractice lawyer in New York and California, and not one of them wanted to help me. Not one of them wanted to help me. If any of you guys need a job in Los Angeles, and I'm being dead serious here, if any of you guys need a job in Los Angeles and would like to hand out, am I taking this a step too far? I don't think so. If any of you guys need a job in Los Angeles and would like to hand out flyers for $25 an hour from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in front of this guy's office, send me an email. I'm assuming maybe one of my customers or someone that needs a job in Los Angeles. Minimum 2-month contract until I'm gonna pay some.
I wonder if you could scam Frank. So anybody who lives in LA, in the chat, contact Frank, lie to him saying you'll hand out flyers, and don't do it and get paid.
Someone to hand out flyers with my face on it in front of this guy's office until my eyes are fixed. Hopefully, my eyes get fixed. Maybe we can even take this video down. Maybe this all ends well. But as of right now, in the current circumstances, it's not going well. The last email I had with Dr. TABAN was him saying, "Oh, I think you can come and get some fillers. I think that'll help." It's just every step of the way, this guy did the wrong thing. Every step of the way, this guy did the wrong thing. Left me to fend for myself, and when I look back, you know, it was. I made smart and educated decisions on everything, you know? Even going to I went to one of the best strabismus surgeons and he didn't fix it right, so now I just don't know what to do. Because we're looking at least 2 or 3 more surgeries. It's going to be months of me being upset and not really doing YouTube anymore. How many times am I going to have to sit in my car for 7 hours? On a good day, 7 hours, sitting in my car, driving back and forth to New York, not eating anything, pulling my car on the side of the highway to piss. Like, the worst case scenario, when I was looking at getting this cosmetic surgery in my head was, okay, even if he messes it up, maybe I only have to get 1 or 2 revision surgeries and that's that. I was not educated on...
Yeah, sometimes I watch modern day debate. They're actually...
on what could go wrong. And the fact that this guy doesn't have resources to fix the problem, the fact that I had to go speak to half a dozen other surgeons just to get... And I went to see another surgeon today for a consultation, and he gave me the names of surgeons that can correct the cosmetic issues.
Fruits that end with
Elden Ring.
You know, this guy is performing very dangerous procedures that are so risky and crazy that there's only a handful of people in the world that would even touch you after this guy messes you up. So that's that. I didn't want this video to be this long, but and before I was contacting this lawyers, I was thinking 3 weeks ago, man, this is such a cut and dry, easy medical malpractice case. This guy's going to write me a check for $30 million, and I'm going to pay a Russian hooker every night for the
Rich, did you ever?
rest of my life and not worry about what my face looks like. That was my mentality, honestly. But reality set in that these degenerates are going to protect themselves and keep as much money to themselves as possible. And this reminded me of my mother, and if you guys didn't see that video of my mom and her talking about me, my brother, and my sister, and triplets, and her double kidney transplant and everything she went through. It's a very sad video. It's on my YouTube channel. She almost got killed, was in the hospital for years, went through so much suffering, and the same thing happened to her. Well, it didn't happen to me yet, but the lawyers, she didn't get a dime. They almost killed her in a routine C-section in the hospital. They almost killed her, and she had to get a double kidney transplant. And she's lucky she had a cardinal from the Vatican read her last rites. Go watch that video if you guys haven't seen it. But that's what happened to my mother, and she didn't get a dime. So seeing how these lawyers will protect themselves and their doctors and how all they care about is money, I don't know. I'd rather dig ditches my whole life than have to burn in hell for eternity. But that's just me. So still hoping for the best. I'm still hoping this can be resolved reasonably, and we get things fixed, and this guy's reputation remains completely intact. And I'll say this honestly, like, I think if the guy didn't perform the double decompression, I think we would have been fine. So, you know, he's still probably, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about that. I don't want to go into that and say anything nice about this guy after what's happened so far. But again, I'm very open-minded, I'm very reasonable, and the fact that I'm in a position that I had to make this video is, again, I've turned many corners, and there's many decisions that other people besides me have had to make, and they've all made the wrong one. And that many wrong decisions and these people colluding against me in more ways than one has led to, if one of those lawyers did the right thing and said, hey, let me help this poor kid, I wouldn't be making this video right now. So we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to have to wait a few weeks when my insurance is back. We'll start consulting some strabismus surgeons. Hopefully get this sorted out as soon as possible. If you guys have made it this far in the video, I'm going to start trying to do one or two videos a week for the vlog. I have a lot of people that depend on me, and I feel really bad that I'm at the point.
He does not have a lot of people who depend on him. He lives alone.
That I don't care. I feel terrible that I don't want to do this anymore because of all these other, especially these Amish people and all my employees that have families and all the people that depend on me. I guess not as much the distributors and suppliers and people that I get products from, but I support a lot of people, and
You're a piece of shit who murders animals.
you know, if it wasn't for that and me understanding that, I definitely, even before this surgery, I definitely wouldn't be here anymore. I understand that. Maybe the reason I'm here is to help people, and
You help nobody. You run a business that runs on torturing and murdering animals. And you're a fucking piece of shit narcissist, and you're getting exactly what you fucking deserve. If anything, you deserve fucking worse. You're a piece of crap.
and there's a lot of things that are a lot more important than my physical appearance, despite how much it upsets me. So I'm trying my best and hoping this gets better, and because
Do you
these people that I'm helping and supporting don't deserve to have anything negative happen to them if I can prevent it.
Well, fuck you, Frank.